the 19-teens, the United States had nearly 3 million miles of roads, but very few were built with automobiles in mind. Most were dirt or gravel. Outside of cities, hard-surfaced roads were uncommon, highway signs were inconsistent, and there was no interstate system. Yet automobiles were arriving anyway, kicking up dust as they went. In September 1911, a Connecticut newspaper reported on one motorist who embraced the situation with a sense of humor while emphasizing the power and speed of their machine. A sign on the back of their car read, "Excuse my dust." Whether this was the first use of that phrase on an automobile is impossible to know, but it certainly wasn't the last. Within just a few years, newspapers from Massachusetts to California were reporting the slogan on cars, and had become popular enough to be featured in national publications, like Judge. Nowhere was the phrase more fitting than in Texas. Of the state's more than 10,000 miles of roads, only about 700 has hard surfaces. Newspapers in Waco, Beaumont, and San Antonio all reported seeing "Excuse my dust" displayed on automobiles, and one Kerrsville motorist, Boss Peterson, even made the dubious claim to have invented the phrase. Chapter 96 of the Laws of Texas, 1907, created a requirement that all motor vehicle owners in the state register their vehicles with their county clerk for a 50-cent fee. The law required owners to display the number provided by the clerk on their automobile in a conspicuous location and characters at least 6 inches in height. With this minimal guidance, vehicle owners were free to approach their license plate design with as much or as little effort and creativity as they chose. Some were simple, homemade creations. Others were made by local tradesmen or assembled from mass-produced kits. Place names or any other text were purely optional. One motorist in Belton, at the time a town of between 4,000 and 5,000 people in Bell County, between Austin and Waco, decided to create a plate that would draw attention. This striking, white-on-red painted metal plate stretches more than 2 feet across and proudly identifies both the town and the state. Along the bottom runs the phrase, "Please excuse my dust." It's a wonderful blend of legal requirement, personal expression, and contemporary popular culture, anticipating the slogans that would eventually become common on state-issued license plates. Like most fads, though, "Excuse my dust" didn't last. Commercial interests stepped in, with businesses selling pennants, car dealers including the phrase in their advertising, and Paramount even using it as the title of a 1920 comedy film. By 1917, newspapers were already noting that the phrase was no longer a sign that someone was in the in crowd, but was rather the mark of someone with an older, slower vehicle. That same year, Texas began issuing standardized embossed metal license plates, ending the era of owner-made plates there. At the same time, federal investment in highways promised better roads and eventually a little less dust. That's what makes the Belton plate so remarkable. It isn't just an early Texas license plate. It's a snapshot of a brief moment when automobiles were new, roads were trying to keep up, and motorists met the challenges of a dusty new technology with a little humor. The phrase may have faded, but this plate preserves a time when "Please excuse my dust" perfectly captured the experience of driving in early 20th century America.